they ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't.
Summer Celery is a permanent 5-star water sword unit who recently got her mana spiral. She is a favorite in many co-op battles, especially Jojo battles, to the point where she was favored more than Cinder, even though Cinder obtained his mana spiral back then when Celery didn't get hers. Her label as a support unit is reflected well through her kit, but her offensive capabilities aren't too shabby either. Let's look into her kit and find out why she excels in both support and defense roles. Level 4 Ocean Fury basically has the same modifiers as its previous level, but got a damage boost as it now hits 6 times instead of 4, bringing the total damage modifier from 736% to 1104%. The bog chance has also increased by 10%, allowing enemies to be bogged more successfully. With a cost of 2649 SP, and being a sword unit makes this skill spammable as she can generate enough SP in a short period of time. An issue with this skill though is its spread. The attack animation shows 6 fishes spread out, with each fish dealing 184% damage. This means the skill deals less damage if not all 6 fishes hit the enemy, which can happen if the enemy is either a bit far or small. I would say that this skill deals the most damage on thick, as in THICC enemies, extra thick, or on a horde of enemies. Pep Talk is her main supporting skill. It deals 660% damage, provides a 15% team defense buff, and activates skill shift. Using this skill the second time gives an extra 13% strength buff, while the third time adds on a 25% attack rate buff. With a cost of 7641 SP, the skill is quite costly, but her mana spiral upgrade granted more buff modifiers for all 3 abilities, coupled with her increased buff time makes this skill a valuable asset to a team. For his co-abilities, both of them actually work together really well. Dragon Haste allows Dragon Claws to stack up faster, allowing Celery to get a 35% strength buff from her co-abilities alone. Her strength double buff is utilized well as her skill 2 gives her a defense buff. Having more defense skills from weapons/shared skills/teammates will make this ability a huge source of strength buffs. Her potent burn resist provides yet another 15% strength buff when hit by burning attacks, which is much easier to trigger than potent stun resist as High Brunhilde and the Jojo twins can inflict burn on many of their attacks. Her buff skill time maintains her buffs longer, which benefits her skill 2 the most. This ability lets her contribute a lot to total team DPS. With so many sources for strength buffs, Summer Celery is a powerhouse in terms of strength. To buff that strength even further, or utilizing that strength in other ways is preferable. Hence, for offense builds any ability that can buff her strength, force strikes or even critical rate and damage is good for her. For a supporting role, definitely go for skill haste and buff skill time. Frostbitten Punisher is a must if your team can inflict a lot of frostbite. Skill damage is a decent option, but I wouldn't really recommend it as her main source of power is strength. For dragons, her best pick is Leviathan or Dragon Eugene for offensive builds. The Rabbits or Miratimus are preferable for a supporting build. For her sword of choice, definitely go for the Jojo one, which has the skill that alternates between critical rate and defense buff. As always, the Chimera Tech and High Mercury swords are also good. If you mainly play a supporting role, weapons only serve to increase your stats, unless they have helpful skills. Therefore I wouldn't recommend any other weapon for her if you play with her offensive build. Her Wyrmprint setup should consist of the aforementioned skills to make her shine. With so many skills I decided to split them into offensive and supportive types. Here are the offense prints, and here are the supportive prints. A side note, I use a healing double buff print when I team up with 3 pipples during a Jojo fights, to have a constant source of strength buffs, and healing from all 3 of their defense buffing skills. Here are some of the healing doubly rough prints that can work. As an arms master, her kit definitely reflects her character well. She has impressive strength, while possessing strong supportive abilities. On top of that, being a sword unit makes her fairly easy to use and master. Now go out there and get Barbary and her pirate crew out from the beach. That's all from me. Moga out.